Hello, everybody, and welcome to Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
We're going to talk the last Fantastic Four story ever. After this, they never did any more Fantastic Fours.
What?
All the other ones are imitating. This is the real Fantastic Four, so please stand up. But,
what does that mean?
okay, so here's the deal.
It's non-copyright infringement.
Yeah, in 2006, Marvel had this whole The End imprint. We did a number of The Ends.
Yeah.
I think at least one.
Yeah.
Oh, two.
Two. Yeah, we did two.
Yes. They had this imprint, The End, and they're trying it for a number of their flagship characters. They did the Hulk, they did Wolverine, the whole Marvel Universe, but they never did Spider-Man, and they did do Fantastic Four. And one of the things with Fantastic Four was they thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we got Stan, who wrote the first Fantastic Four story, to write Fantastic Four The End? Like, what would Stan Lee's last Fantastic Four story be?
Probably boring.
Well, you'll be the judge, because that's what this is. But it's not called Fantastic Four The End. There actually is a book called Fantastic Four The End, and that is done by Alan Davis.
But they did it twice?
They did it twice. So here's the deal.
Well, there's the end and there's the last one, but like, which one comes first?
Right. Well, the first one that came out was Fantastic Four The End from Alan Davis. And the reason for that is actually kind of interesting because I had heard either from a blog or a magazine or hearsay that they had asked Stan to do it. Stan had too many commitments and couldn't do it.
I'm shooting Mallrats.
Right, that was in '95. I'm creating Stripperella. Like he's doing projects. That's what my assumption was, that Stan was busy. And then after they had already got, well, we gotta strike while the iron's hot. We gotta get this last Fantastic Four story. So let's give it to Alan Davis and move on. And then Stan became free, and they were like, oh, well, we kind of already asked Alan Davis, so like you can do it too, but we'll call it something else. And that's what I always heard, but I wasn't sure. And Tom Brevoort was the editor of this book and has been working for Marvel forever. He's a super, not only fan of the company, but also works intimately with the company.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he's a huge fan of the show.
Fan of the show.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. Tom's absolutely watched the show. Not. But I did have Tom Brevoort on my podcast, The Elseworlds Exchange, and Tom and I talked a little bit, and so I'm like, I know him. I have an email address for Tom Brevoort. I'll just ask him. Hey, Tom, what's the story with the last Fantastic Four story? And he was more than happy to oblige, and he actually did give me the information, and I'm happy to share it with everybody now. First of all, he created the End imprint.
Oh.
It was his idea.
Oh.
So if anybody asks, it was Tom Brevoort's. And where did he get the idea from? Alan Moore.
What?
He didn't ask Alan Moore. He was reading something from Alan Moore, where Alan Moore said that superheroes are not mythology because they have no endings. So therefore they don't count.
What?
Yeah. Because every myth has a conclusion, has an ending, but no, they'll never end. Brevoort's like, ooh, I can exploit that idea from Alan Moore. And so he did. He's like, you know what? You're right, Alan. They'll never end the Fantastic Four. Maybe we should do a story about that.
Right.
So
we'll just go ahead and tell the ending now.
Yes.
And then we could just keep
then-
writing stories
Then
to
they're
fill in.
mythology.
yeah, and then
There
it
you
is a
go.
mythology.
We'll check that box.
Yeah, done. We did
Suck
that.
my dick, Alan Moore.
How about that?
I'm glad he explained that to you because it always bothered me
why
ever
would they
since you
do that?
introduced the end. I'm
end.
like, yeah, but like, why
Why?
though? What kind of idea is that? That's so weird.
It is very
But
esoteric,
with
but
that
like,
explanation, it's
yeah.
like, oh, that makes perfect sense.
right. That's the explanation, and that's why it's like, I buy it.
Yeah.
It's not like some intern was
'Cause
like,
it
you
is
should
an
tell the last
explanation.
Hulk story.
Yeah.
Brevoort's like, no, he's like, yeah, he was inspired by Alan Moore being
Flippant.
a dick about superheroes yet
Right.
again, and was like, yeah, I'll make some cash off of that idea. They did ask Stan Lee to write the last Fantastic Four story. He thought it was like going to be kind of poetic and interesting. You know, he wrote their first, let's do the last. And Stan said yes, he wrote the story, or at least he had written an outline, and then Tom says that things got dicey, and the reason why they got dicey, he can't say it, but I can, and it's the fact that Stan Lee sued Marvel Comics because he was like running out of cash and needed money. The lawsuits ended, and then he was able to do it again, and that's when they got this. But it happened. It took a year because in November of '06 they made Alan Davis's Fantastic Four: The End, and then October '07 this came out. So less than a
Stan
year
heard
later,
it was happening. He's just like,
oh no. No, he did not like.
I gotta get on this.
Well, like they settled his
They
case.
settled his case, and then he's like,
in,
okay,
like,
well, I can work for you
2006,
guys again.
and,
Yay! And they're like, great. Sounds like fun, Stan. We all love you.
Great. Let's give you more money.
Yeah. Well, they already paid him, I'm sure, for this.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the thing is, the people in charge of editorial don't know or care what's going on with the lawsuits. You know,
Nope.
the lawyers are handling that.
exactly.
And they're just like,
that's
whatever.
a company. That's the umbrella. Like
Yeah.
you deal with that upstairs. We're just making comics here and making pennies on the dollar for them. But yeah, so that's where the last Fantastic Four story came from, and they were like,
Okay.
oh, and give it a little more gravitas. You know, it's not going to be the imprint. It's this. It's a separate thing that
Right.
Stan made, and I think Brevoort and John Romita Jr. were working together on Thor, and he thought, ooh, Romita Jr. kind of evokes a bit of a Kirby style, so he paired Stan with Romita Jr.,
Okay.
who drew this story. And it's fun because actually in the volume you can get, in the back, there is like a little breakdown of the outline that Stan
little.
wrote.
And you have to turn it sideways.
Yeah,
Great. I love that.
Just to save page real estate. Like this, each thing would be a page, and so instead it's just
Right.
it's just 2 pages.
Yeah.
But you see like what Stan's ideas were, and literally Brevoort and his like notes being like, what if we didn't do that? Like, what about this? And it was always like it's Stan's story, but like he worked for Marvel. It was like he was a writer for
Right.
Marvel, and
Yeah,
Brevoort
so
was
he
like-
got reined in a little
he
bit.
got reined in a little bit, but like it is pure and simple Stan Lee's story, and I think that's kind of cool that they got him at a time when he was like able to write it, and everyone was copacetic with each other inevitably, and we got this thing that I think is very much in the style of Stan Lee writing the Fantastic Four. I think it's one of his favorite Marvel comics. Stan says about everybody. It's like, oh, Spider-Man, my favorite character. Oh, the Hulk, one of my favorite characters. The Fantastic Four, my favorite character. Silver Surfer, I love that character. Might be my favorite. And it's like, okay, we get it. You know what? They're all your
Who
children.
is not your favorite?
Who is not your favorite? Wolverine. Because I did not create Wolverine. I don't see a
give a
nickel
fuck
for
about
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
He's
Fuck
an
that.
abomination.
He actually likes Wolverine. He's like, because, you know, people go, when up until his death, people were giving him Venom comics. He's like, I have nothing to do with Venom.
Yeah,
like
I
at
don't
all.
know. I don't give a shit about that.
Fuck Venom, but he's like, yay, money for Spider-Man.
Sure, I don't
Works for
care.
me. He's just happy to see like his children have grown up and moved out of the house. Like, good for
Right.
them. You know, Venom, sure. Carnage, whatever. Who cares? What's a phage? But this reads very much like a fucking Stan Lee 1964 Fantastic Four story.
Okay.
So like we covered the coming of Galactus. This
have-
feels just like that.
Do you have any of those glasses where the eyes are painted on the outside?
Oh, for you to fall asleep so we get no.
Oh, cool! A classic Stanley story.
You're gonna
I
like
am
it.
all ears.
It's cute. I think it's cool.
So-
I really appreciate.
So
this
which
thing.
one is the real last?
Oh, I mean,
Fantastic Four
I think
story.
the guy who made it is.
Not the end,
Yeah.
but the one. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the last.
Stan Lee is the alpha and the omega of Fantastic Four.
I
Yeah.
think so. I think that's fair to say. I mean, Jack Kirby really would be if he had been alive, but he wasn't. So Stan gets to reap the whirlwind from that. But I shouldn't discount Davis's Fantastic Four: The End. It's much more serious and. You know, takes the concept seriously. He's like, oh, let's do it. And it's like, okay. He didn't go nearly as crazy as Claremont did with the idea, where it's like, oh, I get to end the X-Men? Okay. I'm going to need 3 volumes.
This is gonna get dark.
It's not even dark. It's just long.
This is going to be epic.
Yeah. I'm going to write an epic like fucking Lord of the Rings. And it's like, okay.
Or Gilgamesh. Or
Gilgamesh is
Beowulf.
at least short.
Or the Odyssey.
The Odyssey. There you
Yes,
go.
there you go. Yeah, that's very much X-Men: The End, which one day we'll do, maybe, if anybody cares. So
Oh, thank God! I thought you were saying we were gonna do the Odyssey. I'm like, pass.
One day
yeah,
we'll do the
we'll do
Odyssey.
the Odyssey. Yeah, Backish is
the
eventually.
Yeah,
comics.
Homer's Odyssey.
Yeah, one day it'll be To Kill a Mockingbird, the Odyssey. Yeah, it's gonna be great. You're gonna love it, trust me, and you're gonna learn a lot.
We'll do
Back
Jane
issues
Eyre.
now playing in all middle schools near
Yeah,
you.
welcome to Back Issues. Today we're gonna do the Scarlet Letter.
We could do an awesome episode about the Scarlet Letter.
I did that actually. I taught the Scarlet Letter once, and I rocked it. And it was just back issues, but in class, I taught for an honors sophomore class, and they ate that shit up. Last Fantastic Four story, and it opens. You know, Stan knows what the concept is. It's not like he's writing to build a universe. Like it's 40 years removed from Fantastic Four, from the formation of Marvel. You know, he has this, hey, Dad, you want to come back? You want to come back and like do your old job? Show me how to make widgets like you used to on the assembly line? Okay, let's see if I can remember how to do it. So it feels a little dated.
Yeah.
And when I say a little, I mean a lot.
Right. They don't do it like this anymore. At that time.
no,
Even
they
then. Even 10 years ago.
Yeah, and Romita
Let
Jr.
me get on my dictaphone.
Yeah.
Page 1, opening scene.
Can we photostat this copy to everybody else in the office? So, the story opens with a sparrow fell to earth and marked the end of the world, and it showcases the sparrow dying and just landing on the ground. You're like, oh, okay. It's interesting. Actually, it is your dad's Fantastic Four, more like your grandpa's. The Fantastic Four are embroiled in some kind of adventure. It's a superhero adventure. They're, normally they're explorers. They're in another dimension. They're dealing with despots from, other realities. But this time they're just dealing with terrorists in a secret military arsenal, protecting against theft of crazy weapons
in the Adirondack Mountains.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because everything happens within
that scope of New York City.
Yeah, within 4 hours of New York.
Yeah. As far as I'm willing to drive, that's where the epicenter of reality is. So, the Fantastic Four fight some terrorists and they win. Who gives a shit?
Right.
But it's very Fantastic Four. For example, Sue Storm does all the heavy lifting with her invisibility powers, and Reed condescends to her. The terrorist weapons, they all explode in fire, and they say it out loud. The bolts of flame are melting our weapons, as if we don't know. But I think it's done.
What great exposition!
But I believe it's done with the Marvel method. So,
right.
Here's the outline. Johnny, you draw it, and I will fill it in with my laser-focused dialogue.
Yep.
Good job, Stan.
Yep.
These terrorists, they see a bright flash. What is that bright flash?
Who could deny that they saw a bright flash?
Right.
He says it directly.
Who's to say?
Yeah, it is a fact. He is saying it.
Yeah.
I don't see what the problem is.
I don't see what the problem is. I defy you to critique it in any way.
I'm just saying, why would he say that in that circumstance if he was a real person?
The way nobody does. So, the Thing shows up, it's clobbering time, and he kicks all their asses and collects them all into a bag that he brings before the military attaché.
He puts them in a bag? Why does he have a
They're
bag
all on a bed sheet.
that can hold men?
Maybe it's makeshift. Maybe it's pulled from some kind of synthetic cloth or
Right.
unstable molecules, perhaps.
Parachute.
Yeah.
Surprised there's not a dialogue box where it's like, I'll just use this sheet of giant cloth
Gotta
that
save
is
time.
sitting over here.
He arrives, it's clobbering time. Clobbering was had.
Right.
Just assume.
You don't
Take
even
it for
see
granted.
him clobber.
No. You don't need to.
Once he says it's clobbering time, that fight's over.
We all know.
What if they all gave up? Would it still be clobbering time?
I think he would still clobber them.
No, we surrender. Hands in the air.
You're not
throw our
robbing
guns
my
down.
clobbering from me. I'm a rock man. This is all I can do now.
No. You didn't,
My life is
you didn't
ruined.
Fight the flame guy and the invisibility chick, and then give up when you saw the rock. I'm not last.
Not fair.
It's not fair.
It's
I'm
not gonna
punching
happen.
someone.
Yeah.
I have a lot of anger issues. I'm a monster.
All I'm saying is we had guns. Our guns were then melted.
Yes.
So
yeah.
we give up.
Yeah, well, you still have fists.
Yeah, I soften them up. You take them down, Ben. Way to go. So they leave and they complain. And this is the idea. The conceit is the last Fantastic Four story is not about how they die.
Is it about how they
Despite the Alan Moore
stop?
pitch of how they have to die. Yes.
Right,
It's the don't forget. It's the last Fantastic Four story.
Right.
So this has to be the last Fantastic Four story. But it's
It's just how they become old and embittered with each other.
they're all ready. They look pretty spry, but they're also super embittered. They're just
doing this forever.
they're like,
When will it end?
Ben muses on their way out flying the Fantastic car. They could have given us a medal or something. Everybody takes us for granted. And that's
world weary.
That's very Stan.
I mean, that's on the nose, too, for the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, well, it's also what altruistic heroes they are.
Yeah. Also, how many times do you think he said that? Does he say that every time they don't
feel
get a
like
medal? They
he
save
does.
the world every day.
Well, that's the thing. It's well, you can't get a medal every day.
Do you know how
Yeah.
many medals you would have in your house?
Yeah,
Right.
You'd be over, whatever the fuck.
You wouldn't be able to save the world. You'd be busy polishing your medals.
Exactly. Normally it's Ben being like, this sucks, or Johnny being like, I'm not paid enough for this. But now everyone's kind of whinging, and they're like, is it time? Is it time for us to have this conversation about stopping? About just letting it go, giving it up?
Right. Is it time for this to be the last
Fantastic
Fantastic Four
Four
adventure?
story? Because they talk about how they don't make a lot of money, despite the fact that they literally flew a flying car to their skyscraper that they own.
Yeah, that doesn't...
All their money goes towards charities and scientific
right.
weaponry and machinery for Reed to continue his scientific research.
Right, for every flying car they sell, they buy, a supercomputer and an interdimensional transporter that has no value.
Right, no
they're not gonna
monetary
sell.
value.
Yeah.
They can't, they can't
The technology is
monetize
too
it.
dangerous to sell to people,
Exactly.
so it just costs them.
Yep. Well, and every time that they make an advancement in super science, they gotta match that advancement with more super science.
Right.
you know.
I was assuming that also, like, they're one of the few teams that actually cleans up afterwards, where Reed is just like, all right, we made a decent money off of this, but we also had 3 fights last week, so we have to pay for the repairs to the streets.
Yeah,
we
road
have to
destruction.
put kids back in school.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That would be
Probably.
very stupid of them, since many superheroes can just bail.
Yeah.
And do.
Well, but then you get things like the Superhero Registration Act.
Oh, that's
So
true.
you-
And the
you know,
Fantastic Four are also public. They don't wear masks,
Yep,
and
that's
they're
right.
registered.
That's right. They
you know.
can't hide.
That's true. They can't hide.
They can't hide from the
culpability.
lawsuits. Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually well, it's thematically relevant to this. So Reed goes, "We better check our messages." And you know, it's 2006, so you know, a lot of people have voicemail. It's not necessarily an answering machine anymore.
Sure.
But even with the Fantastic Four, they have super science. So Stan just says they have to check their messages, but Romita has to like make that make sense in their world.
Yeah,
So
you're not going to press a little recorder.
no, it's not like boop. It's
You have 17
there's just like
messages.
there's a big red machine.
Yeah.
It's just flashing at them.
It just downloads directly to Reed's brain.
Right, it might as well. It's just it's a super science phone. But Sue says that she has a bad feeling about this, and Reed says women's intuition has never been scientifically proven.
Thanks, Stan.
And I'm like, oh my God, still? You can't. Okay, so when he was a misogynist in 1962, 64, I'm like, okay, well, you know, it's a different time. Stan, you know, he's just doing the best he can. But like, okay, now you have the context. You've been on this planet
Yeah.
an additional 40
Reed
years.
has to get off Sue's ass
No, no, no.
about her
Give it up.
comments.
You understand? This isn't Stan. This is Reed.
Right, no.
He's
Yeah,
like, I
Reed
wrote
is
him
the
like that.
misogynist.
He's like that. I can't
Stan's
just write him different.
Yeah, I co-created the Black Panther. I'm incredibly progressive. I'm just saying that Reed Richards is a misogynist.
Yeah. He was then, he is now. He's not going to change.
Look at his gray sideburns.
It's only been like a month or whatever since 1965 in these books. It's not like time passed.
No, that's true.
Not for them.
Not for me.
Or me.
So he goes, well, you know, but well, and here's Reed's compromise. Women's intuition's never been scientifically proven, but when Sue has those feelings, I should definitely double check. And then he does, and he sees that like there's earthquakes and volcanoes and you know birds falling from the sky, and it's as though nature itself is attacking mankind.
It's the end of the world.
That's what he says. And then the Watcher shows up. And the Watcher's drawn like the Watcher was back in the 60s.
I'd love it if Reed just entirely ignored the Watcher. Like,
Yeah.
he sees him there, he's just like, nope.
Don't
No.
look at him.
Don't acknowledge him. I was just
gonna
gonna
keep doing my work.
I can't get involved.
Okay.
It's pretty bad though.
Hey,
I'm just gonna
Johnny.
keep doing what I have to. Son of a bitch.
Oh my God, Iwazu's here. Yeah, you better talk to him. So anyway, the Watcher's like, hey, I'm here. I just came to say goodbye. And Reed's like, oh, where you going? He's like, it's not me. What do you think, Reed? You think I'm going?
Which do you think is more likely? That this ancient race of beings who's been here for millions of years,
Before you even got
I'm
here.
just right now, today, deciding to walk away.
Yeah, the Watcher's gonna give it up. That would be as ridiculous as the Fantastic Four quitting arbitrarily because they don't get enough medals. So,
All right.
Wow, that's really tactful, Watcher.
thanks. So the Watcher, you know, he's like, you're fucked, and there's nothing you can do. This isn't like Galactus, where like I could warn you. I'm just saying goodbye. It's over for you. So
Right.
meanwhile, far, far away in the farthest regions of space, the Cosmic Tribunal convenes, and they're like, the human race sucks. We got to end it.
It's like that finally got to our file.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, basically, they're just like, all right, we gave them a shot.
That's enough.
That's enough. It's time to destroy them. But you know what? They deserve a warning, so we'll send the adjudicator to go and adjudicate.
Okay. And this is another new character.
New character, new infinitely powerful cosmic character that Stan Lee invents for the story. And by the way, I'm amazed he's never been used again.
Right.
No one's ever brought up the adjudicator.
Well, because no, this is not how
It's not
Fantastic
canon.
Four is going to end. Yeah.
No,
I mean,
but like
that's-
you'd think that at some point someone would
someone
go,
would just,
oh.
yeah.
I'll use the adjudicator. Yeah.
Yeah, especially because people are obsessed with like the infinitely powerful characters. You know, like,
Yeah.
oh my God,
Oh,
you
who's
think
more
you think
powerful?
Galactus or Thanos? Well, who could win in a fight? Darkseid? Like, you know, it's,
If only Adam Warlock could face off with fucking
Yeah.
the Adjudicator.
oh my God. Yeah, actually.
Thanks, Jim.
Well, because Jim Starlin has nothing to do with this,
Right.
Adam Warlock does not factor in.
I'd love it if Marvel handed out the decree like, all right, you're not allowed to use anyone from this story. No Cosmic Tribunal.
We don't need
Yeah.
no adjudicator.
more.
We're not giving Stan more royalties.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because I actually asked Brevoort about it. I'm like, how come no more adjudicator? Like, what's the story with that? And he's like,
Right. I don't know. Nobody wanted to use it.
Nobody wanted to use it.
Right.
He didn't say.
I
Nobody
can't
wanted
answer
to use
for
it.
why every
Nobody
single
wanted to use
creator
it.
decided
It's
not
not
to use
a decree that we handed out that
Right.
said no one wants to use it or is allowed to use it ever again.
Right. That's true. That's true. So.
We hear you, Tom.
I feel like it's just unnecessary. Like
It is. But
there's a million other characters that previously existed that were in more than one story that you could use instead.
Right, but they've used every cosmic character that Stan and Jack have ever created. My point is, this is like
is the
Stan
one.
adding another like cog in the pantheon
Right.
of the cosmic machine.
And this time, everyone's like, no,
nah, pass.
no, you're done.
Right. Yeah,
That's enough.
That's enough. I think it's just because not enough people read the story and they don't know about it. If there was a TikTok about the Adjudicator, people would be like, "Oh my God, you fucking Dennis is pretty powerful, but I know you're gonna think Galactus, but I'm thinking at the end of Loki, the Adjudicator is gonna show up and he's
That would be dope.
That'd be amazing. There's no way.
It would be a fake out. It'd be like, oh, you have the Adjudicator. It's like
Yep.
a projection or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, big time.
You're like, oh, no, they're not really.
No, that'd be stupid as fuck.
No, you're only allowed to use the Adjudicator once, and it's at the end of like someone's story.
Yes. Yeah. Like, actually, if ever the Adjudicator is going to show up, it'll be in Thor 4. Because Taika Waititi's going to be like, actually be like,
Well,
all right,
you know,
I'm thinking I'm going to use this guy. Nobody read this?
except those fucking lunatics over on ComicPop.
Yeah, except for those guys, but nobody watches them anyway.
You do. You obviously do take it.
You do, because you know
Taika?
about it.
That's how we'll know if he watches.
That's right. That's how you'll know.
Yeah, the Adjudicator is
Yes.
in Thor
Oh,
4.
it'd be so funny if they end Thor 4 the same way they ended Avengers. Where, like, the Cosmic Tribunal convenes, they're like, we're going to end the human race! The Adjudicator's like, and he just does it because fuck you. We're never going to do that. But people would just be like, ah! Anyway, so they send the Adjudicator to adjudicate.
Yeah.
And, Reed's sensors are going haywire. They're like, this is fucking more powerful than anything I've ever seen. And then Kadoom, he arrives.
Oh.
And he just...
Okay.
And he stands over the island of Manhattan. Like, he's just that friggin' big.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey,
What is up?
it is I.
I want to see what you got.
Yeah. It's like, I'm a word most of you probably couldn't pronounce. Anyway, you got like a week. Get your shit together before you die. Oh, am I too big? I feel like I'm too big. So he shrinks down to be pretty big,
Right.
but not
It's
incomprehensibly
like,
big.
oh, you guys are real small. Okay,
Yeah,
let me just
oh.
get down on your level a little bit.
When the Cosmic Tribunal, the arbitrators of everything in creation, decided to exterminate you from the farthest reaches of space, I assumed you were a threat. So,
Now that I see you, I'm kind of like, is this even
feel bad
right?
for you.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad. Maybe I'll turn on them, like everyone comes from space to kill you does.
So how is he different than like a celestial?
He's not.
He's not. He's a celestial.
He's more powerful than a celestial.
He's just got more power.
He's got more power, and
He could beat a celestial.
I think he could. I
If
think
the tribunal decides they want to get rid of a celestial,
Yep,
they'll
they
send
send
this
him.
guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Well, they don't even really explain how the human race is going to be eradicated. I assume the Adjudicator is going to do it because he's so friggin' big and powerful.
Well, just step on everybody.
But he doesn't say, like, yeah, he doesn't step off Marshmallow Man them. He's just there, and he's really just there to dispense justice. Like, he's there to tell them what's going to happen. He's not the executioner.
Does he explain?
Yes. Well, he says, you've been judged, it's over, and there are no appeals.
Oh.
Yeah. Can you imagine? You're trying to get a sandwich.
Yeah, but Reed's got an ultimate nullifier.
No, he borrowed the ultimate nullifier. He put that back. That's in Galactus' ship. He doesn't then go like, it worked once before, here we go. That does not come up. They have a way more sinister plan. So, also the Adjudicator's like, this place is kind of big, I should project myself. So he appears in all these different areas of the world as like a totem for their annihilation.
Oh, I'd love it if he just like, all right, so I have a schedule to keep. 9 a.m. New York City. 11 a.m. Japan.
Right, no.
I just have to be in.
Now the whole world's going to be destroyed
All I'm saying.
all at once.
Oh, you have television broadcasts. I didn't realize.
Oh, I could've
so
just
you saw
done
me
that.
there. Well, I'm already here.
Yeah.
You're doomed.
Well, he's still in like one location. Like I think for the United States, he picked New York City because he goes to Paris, Moscow, the Himalayas.
I wanted to see this big apple you had.
Very disappointing.
It's just a city.
Yeah.
Where is this apple?
What a fake out.
I was hungry.
I was going to give you a week. Nah, 24 hours.
Yeah, no, fuck this. I got shit to
For
do.
lying.
You're a bunch of liars.
Yeah. There's a lot of Stan dialogue. I'm not going to get into it. You could probably guess what it says. Who's that overgrown weirdo kidding? He's threatening to waste the whole bland planet and trying to sound like a good guy at the same time.
Oh.
What a dickhead.
Yeah, that is what's just happened. Thank you.
So anyway, the Avengers show up and they're like, this is pretty freaking nuts right here. Like, they don't, it's a Fantastic Four story. But,
Right.
like, Stan...
What's going to happen? Cap's going to punch him?
Right,
Like,
nothing.
yeah.
And I feel like Stan's also like, this is my goodbye to the Marvel Universe. Because he uses everyone he loves in the Fantastic Four and the Marvel Universe.
Right.
Like,
So Spider-Man's going to show up?
Spider-Man does show up. Throngs of reporters and hangers-on are just like staring at him. He's like, what are you doing? I told you I'm going to eradicate your planet. Go home. Hug your families.
Yes.
What's wrong with you?
Mr. Adjuster, one question.
It's Adjudicator.
Okay, and what do you think is going to happen with fall of fashion this spring?
Nothing. It is all going to end in 1 week.
Okay, and thoughts for what the Oscars are going to do?
What?
Who's your favorite person on the runway right now?
Who?
Did you see last night's Jimmy Fallon? It was pretty amazing.
Evaporate.
Okay, so this is the day the Earth stood still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, okay.
So the Adjudicator just stands there, and we see like people reacting to it, characters we like. So Spider-Man goes, "There's no way my webbing will stop him." And I'm like,
well, you could try.
"That's an understatement, Spidey."
Oh, I need to create celestial webbing.
Right. He's not even gonna. No. Daredevil's like, "It's pretty powerful to me. Although, how would I know?
I can't see him.
I can't see him.
I can
but
feel
sense
him.
it though.
feels pretty powerful." Professor X is just like, "I'm not even gonna be in this." Like he's just, I
can't probe his mind,
I
it's
can't probe
over.
his mind, so it's over. And Doom's like, "Feh."
Lalandra, you need to pick me up right now.
Get the hell out of here.
He just quietly contacts his favorite members of the X-Men. They all just clandestinely end up in the courtyard around 4 in the morning. Zoop! I'm shocked nobody bails. Nobody uses their friggin' spaceships to leave. But, Doom, of course, is there, and he's like, how dare he threaten to destroy the world before I can conquer it? And I'm like, that's pretty in keeping with Doom.
Yeah.
Namor
Good job,
shows
Doom.
up with an army of Atlanteans, and they attack the surface world at the exact same time.
What?
Which I think is adorable.
Well, no, it's the perfect
Because
time.
that's what they do.
Everyone's
See,
distracted.
that's what I thought it was going to be, is that Namor's like, no!
Like, what? He's
I'll
gonna
rule
destroy
the
whole world.
Well, I rule 70% of the world. Now I'll rule all 100%
for a week.
For a week. I'm a petty, simple man.
Yeah.
I still ruled them for a week though.
Yeah. And then we'll broadcast that message into the stars. I will live on in infamy forever. No.
No, it's just a coincidence.
It's the...
He was going to attack the surface world anyway.
No, it was
Oh,
that the oceans got hotter, and he was like, it's got to be the surface world.
Oh.
It's like, no, it's this guy.
No. He stood in the water and it got warm.
Basically.
I guess he's really hot.
Well, it's like, no, it's
Well,
the...
the energy.
Oh, it's the
emits
part
where
of
it
the
came
destruction
from.
of the
It's
world?
the Adjudicator's like coming and arrival, the signs of his coming and the Cosmic Tribunal's decision
see.
to eradicate humankind. The Earth itself
The
is
thing
like,
that killed the
So wait,
birds.
yeah,
the thing
and
that
the
killed the birds
volcanoes.
also made the Earth hot, or the water hotter.
So one bird died.
There was
randomly.
Well, one bird harbinged it. That was we saw the first bird,
Yeah.
but then on Reed's sensors we see like lots more birds.
Right.
Trust me, more birds.
The first
don't
bird
worry.
fell, and then all the other birds
Yeah.
fell.
Lots of magnetic waves or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or
Like
something.
canaries.
Yeah, it throws off their
gas,
sense, and
I
they just dive bomb the ground. So the New York Police Department's there, and they just go, this is more than we can handle. Let's just call the Fantastic Four. And we've covered this before in the Avengers episode we did. Like the bank has like a button that calls the Avengers, and so
Yeah.
as such, the NYPD SWAT department has a button on their phones or comm devices that calls the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, and,
guess that makes
and
sense.
Thing picks up and goes, "Is there a medal in it for us?"
This time
Click.
I get a medal, or it's
Or
no
it's
go.
nothing. No dice.
What? Okay.
Okay,
fine.
sure.
No, they don't say sure. It's just like I told the New
wanna
York SWAT
see
to screw off.
Yeah. What? So Reed's
I
like,
said I wanted a medal this time.
yeah. So Reed springs into action. He jumps on like a piece of the Fantastic Four car or one of his like hover bikes.
No time to get the rest of them.
Now this is Namor. I can handle this. So he arrives and and Namor's like,
I can't let my wife show up.
yeah, she'll fuck him. No, forget
All
it.
I'm saying is,
She's got a week to live. She's not gonna freaking honor our vows.
it's bad enough to fight Namor. If I had to fight Namor with a boner,
Yeah.
it's entirely distracting.
What?
That's all he's wearing.
Oh, okay. I thought it's like if I get a boner from Namor.
No, if Namor gets a boner
From
from seeing
my wife
Yes.
wanted to fuck Namor.
Well, that's
What?
great. No, that'll be his disadvantage, and then I'll punch him in the boner. Anyway, he literally just pulls up the like Namor missed the memo.
Right.
I guess the adjudicator didn't like broadcast it in the ocean.
Right.
He went to the Himalayas, but he didn't go under the
That
water.
is quite a diss.
Yeah. Well,
Atlantis isn't even important enough for me to appear to anyone from there.
Yeah. Well, listen, the Jedi Council didn't tell Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan about the Gungans.
Oh, that's true.
And they
They didn't know anything about them.
Anything?
That's a
little bit of an oversight, you know. I'm starting to think those prequels were not written very well.
That was a sign of the decay that was eating away at the Galactic Senate.
Thank you, Dave Filoni. Reed pulls up the adjudicator on like a little portable TV and he just shoves it in Namor's face. He goes, "No, it's just there's this guy."
See, look here.
Yeah, and Namor's like, "Oh, sorry."
Stop it.
Well, why don't you tell me? I'll just punch him. So he goes to punch him, and
Reed's like, let's see how this
Yeah,
he's like,
out.
Yeah, why don't you go punch
"Go punch him. That'd be awesome."
You know what? My wife said it'd be really hot if you punched him.
Done.
And just kept punching him.
Yeah, despite what happens.
Right.
So he punches the adjudicator, and the adjudicator like bands come out of his face and just attack Namor, and he falls to the ground, just defeated.
Oh.
But not dead.
No, just humiliated.
I said you would have 24 hours to die.
It was a week.
I'm not killing you now.
Yeah, but he's just like, wow, that guy kicked my ass. That must be the ultimate power in the universe. Like, he immediately assumes that must be super powerful. So, you know, the military gets involved. Everyone's like, they set up a perimeter.
Yeah.
Now it's like the social event of the season. Like, everybody's just there at the spot where the adjudicator is standing. And I should point out, normally, you know, in these kind of stories, the adjudicator would like, "I'll project myself. My true form is here." But like, as Brevoort and Lee explain in their appendices and in the emails that he sent me, the adjudicator is like physically in all those places at once. He's like so limitlessly powerful that like he apportions parts of himself to approximate his own visage in different locations. So like you attack it over here. If you could kill the adjudicator and you stabbed him in the Himalayas, he would be heard all over. Like it would actually have some effect. It's not like if you attacked him over there, it would just pass through like a hologram. No, like if you have the means to kill him, you could kill him in any of those locations.
Oh, okay, so like if you cut off one leg,
Yeah.
all of the adjudicators lose a leg.
Right.
Well, does that mean if he moves his leg moves everywhere because it's the same leg?
Well, because he knows he has to position himself like on top of a mountain in the Himalayas. So I would assume that like he has different movements for each different adjudicator persona that is in their location.
And he's still so
seems
powerful that
inconsistent.
he has the mental capacity and the energy to like do all of that.
Yes.
It's just if he takes damage, they all take damage.
Right, but he's never taken damage and he won't. But
It's not going to be put to the
I'm just
test.
explaining that it's not like your normal kind of thing. It's,
See, I thought you were going to say like there's like 10 versions of him. There's 10 of him.
Right.
You got to kill all 10.
Yes.
Like you can't just like defeat one of them.
Right.
Because they're all separate things.
yeah.
That are independent of one another.
It is not that.
Okay.
But one could probably make that
Argument.
work.
Right.
Yeah. What if, given that the adjudicator is a cosmic being unfathomable to the minds of men, the giant form of the adjudicator lands in several different places on the Earth? That is to say, there are giant adjudicators strategically positioned all across the globe, but that they're all facets of a single entity rather than a number of individual adjudicators. There's only one being, but he manifests in several places at once in a manner that our limited minds cannot fathom. Does it help make the adjudicator distinctive in an immediate visual way? So the SWAT team is dispensed to go deal with the adjudicator, such that they can. Meanwhile, Reed is like, "Lucky I stored my intraspatial communicator in here,
Okay.
my convenience machine."
Yep.
And he pulls out this doohickey and he fires it into space. And he goes, "I hope that this will reach the one I'm seeking. He could be in anywhere in 1,000 galaxies, but perhaps I'll get lucky." And he does, of course.
Ping!
So he's trying to reach somebody.
Right.
Then we see the Silver Surfer just kind of
Just chilling.
Chilling.
Just sitting on his board.
I actually love this image of the Silver Surfer. It's just kind of fun, just him sitting
Yeah.
on the edge of his board.
He's not always surfing around.
No, and this
he
is like,
stops.
Well, this is like sitting on the edge of the board waiting for the surf.
yeah,
in the ocean.
Yeah.
he
Yep.
is, and he's just waiting for the next wave.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
What does that mean in space?
Well, the next conflict, the next big cosmic thing. that
Plus,
Silver
it's all
Surfer must-
gorgeous out there.
It is.
Yeah.
Look at how much stuff's happening in space.
Look
You think
how-
it's just endless blackness? No. Look at everything.
Look at how unrealistically full of stuff that space is.
That's why they call it space, because it's so jam-packed with things. So So this is Stan's opportunity to write for Silver Surfer again.
Yay.
And he does, and he's just, it's the same shit you've heard 1,000 times. I'm all alone. The space is beautiful and amazing. I love my Shia LaBeouf, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But I have a signal from Earth. It must be from Reed Richards. I'm off.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Oh, I'm too late.
Yeah, my favorite planet.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go talk to my only friends.
Yeah, why not? I would think that Zenla, his homeworld, would be his favorite planet, but clearly it isn't. So,
No, those guys are chumps.
the military sends, like jets to fire on the adjudicator, then Silver Surfer shows up. And he's like, what up? And they're like, okay, so can you give us some context? Because, this fucking guy came in. I've never seen him before. He's talking about cosmic tribunals.
Oh, he's here? Oh, you're screwed.
Is that the fucking adjudicator?
He goes up. Look.
Dick move.
I am not with them. I'm sorry I'm here.
Oh,
You
great
don't need to destroy
adjudicator.
me.
I am so sorry. If you'll just I'm just passing through. So Doom attacks. He sends a bunch of drones. I love them. They're just these fun little floaty robots. They're just They're just hover-mounted laser cannons. They all strategically go around the adjudicator and they just fire at once. Nothing happens.
He sends them to New York? Is that the closest adjudicator to...
I think he assumes, like most of us, that this is the real adjudicator.
This is the main one.
This is the one. Yeah, he could have easily gone to the Himalayas. I think it's closer to Liberia, but,
No, it's because this adjudicator made himself smaller.
Well, once I defeat him...
Everyone else is a giant adjudicator. I'm going to fight the little one in New York.
Yeah, right? Well, plus, once I defeat the adjudicator, then I'll crush the Fantastic Four one.
Right, they're right there. Then we'll just turn the lasers a little bit and hit them.
So the adjudicator, he is not hurt. He doesn't move, and then everything before him ceases to exist. He just makes the drones and the big bomber that Doom's flying just disappear.
Wow.
That's his power.
Yeah.
Fucking tentacles blast out of his face to punch Namor. He makes things evaporate. And I'm like, okay, so on one hand, yeah, is that lazy? He can do everything? Sure. But is it also kind of fun, evocative of when Galactus showed up, he had many powers, and it was kind of just the skies are red and full of fire, and they don't give off heat. It's just this kind of
no matter what you do,
yeah,
it's futile.
It's futile. And he can do anything.
Yeah.
And it's up to him, and he doesn't seem to care.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just more like Lovecraftian horror.
Yeah. That is horrifying.
Yeah. So he's like, okay, that's pretty messed up. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna get on my board and I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to upper management. I'll see what I can do for you.
Right.
Let me check the back room and I'll see what.
Maybe they made a mistake.
No, he's not checking with the. He doesn't. He knows the tribunal's made up their mind.
Oh, okay.
He's like, no. But I'll check with the other manager.
Do they ever explain what specifically?
Oh, why we are doomed?
Yeah.
Yeah. The tribunal says basically that after thousands of years, we're no better off. We're still warlike. We still attack each other. Crime and poverty and bigotry still exist.
Okay. So the usual suspects.
We're not getting any better.
Right.
They even have superheroes, and the world still sucks.
Exactly. It sucks, arguably, but more so than before. So Silver Surfer leaves, and he makes this decision on his own. He's like, I'll go check this out. And so to the Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer's like, he watches Doom's shit disappear, and he goes, oh, fuck this, and he just leaves.
Right.
And the Fantastic Four's like,
he left us.
He left us! The Thing literally is just like, I always knew he was a panty waist. Who cares? I'm going to punch the adjudicator. I'm going to give him my best Sunday best punch. So,
okay.
Johnny uses his Nova Blast to no avail.
Yeah.
The Avengers attack.
Yeah, the Thing tries to punch him.
Doctor Strange, Iron Man, and Professor X all show up. They try to attack him. It's just this big, spectacular display of futility.
Yeah.
Watching all of Marvel's heroes do their best to try and stop the adjudicator. No dice. Because they did this, they're like, all right, we failed. We can't win. I guess he's right. Meanwhile, in the Himalayas, the Inhumans show up, or at least the ones you care about, and they're all like, okay, Black Bolt, let him have it. So Black Bolt, screams at the adjudicator, leveling, these great monuments.
It's a good thing we had an adjudicator in the middle of nowhere so that we could get that scene where Black Bolt just obliterates.
That's just what you call good editing. So they're like, we failed. The Thing's like, I punched him as hard as I could. I don't know what else I can do. So,
Oh, you punched him? Oh, you punched him and that didn't stop it? I guess it's over.
I guess it's over. So he just goes, all right, well, I guess I'm just going to go fuck Alicia. Bye. And he gets on his hover bike and he's like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the end. Bye. And Reed's like, that's fair. Bye.
Yeah.
Tell her I say hi.
I can't counter that. I don't have a plan or anything, so.
No. And Reed does kind of internalize it. He's just like, man, right when he needed me most, right when everyone needed me most, I failed. I'm a failure. And then, as if to compliment that. All the denizens of New York who are also there are like, yes, you failed. You failed us all. What the fuck are you doing? You're just standing around. How come you're not doing anything about it? This fucker says we're all going to die.
You got to stop him.
You got to stop him. You guys have interdimensional transporters. You could leave. I can't leave. I still owe like 40 grand on my house. What are you doing?
Hey, can you move us to Mars?
Yeah, right? So they're just screaming at him, and then Spider-Man shows up, and he webs like a wall between them, like the angry crowd that's becoming a mob, and the Fantastic Four. And he's like, get out of here, Fantastic Four. And they're like, thanks a lot, Spider-Man. Way to handle crowd control. Spidey's like, no problem. I have a girl I gotta get to. Who is that girl in this reality? Who could say? But all I do is say, girl, farewell. You will not see me until the end of the book. Goodbye.
He needs to go eat some wheat cakes.
Yeah, it's probably at May.
Yeah, right.
Galactus's orb arrives, his ship.
Oh.
And so Galactus pops out and he's like, what up? Surfer and Reed appeal to Galactus. They're like, is there anything we can do? I mean, the Cosmic Tribunal seems like a pretty big deal, but like, you know, they're a tribunal. They can talk and they can reason. Maybe we could figure something out. And
oh shit, the Cosmic Tribunal said that.
Oh god.
I'm out of here.
Screwed.
Fuck
It's
you
over.
guys. Why did you call me here?
They're going to be pissed I even came to talk to you.
I'm going to hear about this for 1,000 years.
I'm not going to have any planets to eat for a while.
So they literally go like, is there anything we can do? And he goes, explain what your plan is and maybe I could help you. And then a couple minutes later, they've explained their plan. And he goes, now go. And Silver Surfer's like, you got it. So Silver Surfer leaves. And he goes to Zenla, and he goes to his beloved Shalabal, and she's like, Norrin Rad, you've returned. He's like, I gotta go. I just wanted to say I love you.
I had to stop by for some quick nookie.
Yeah, basically that. And then, like a swiftly fading memory, he is gone.
Oh.
What an asshole.
Is he going to die? Is the plan going to require him to die?
He's worried. It's just, the plan is a perilous one.
I see.
So
he's just making sure he sees her one last
So
time.
he just hangs out in space
dies.
all the time, never seeing her, but then when things get bad, he's like, I'm going to show up real quick for 5 seconds and be like, this may not work, bye.
I think so. I mean, well, on one hand, if you've ever looked at the lower half of the Silver Surfer, he has no genitalia.
He has no genitalia now.
Right, he can manifest.
He can manifest.
Right, like, well, the board becomes his dick because the board can become many things. He can turn into a sword.
But it seems like right now there is no impediment.
No, it's just Stan being like, I don't want to write about all that shit.
Right. Where is he? What's the reason he can't see? I just want him to see her. He's gonna go see her.
He goes to see her.
He goes to see her. He should be able to.
It's fair.
Yeah.
So anyway, Johnny loses his shit and he uses his Nova Flame just out of like pure desperation on the Adjudicator.
Oh, good. And he burns New York.
He burns like a lot. It's just a big flash that you see from Jersey, but like he doesn't burn everybody. Right. He focuses it at the Adjudicator. It would,
yeah. What about the people that are caught in that webbing?
Yeah,
not that far away.
No, they should all be dead. It's the light of 1,000 suns.
They're like right there.
He would have killed everybody there, but he doesn't. So, and maybe because there's a bubble around Sue and Reed that Sue put a bubble around like everything that
she made
would
a big
be
bubble.
destroyed.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they're just like, Jesus Christ, what the hell's wrong with you, Johnny?
She actually put a bubble around the Adjudicator too. She's like, I want to see how this plays out.
No, she wouldn't do that. It's his brother. So he's just like, he reveals what his insecurities are, and he's just like, Ben's got Alicia, you have each other. I played the field so long, I never had anybody. So it's the end of the world, and I don't have anybody to hold in my arms and tell them I love them. I'm just so sad. It's like,
That's not true, Johnny. You had that one Skrull you fucked.
Yeah, call Elijah.
Yeah.
I don't think Stan remembers Elijah. But you could also bang Crystal from the Inhumans. You know, never mind the fact that she married Quicksilver and then that didn't work out. Stan doesn't remember that. So the Adjudicator's like, oh fuck, and then he just gets bigger. He just grows, and he goes bigger than Galactus, and Galactus is like, oh shit, and then he disappears. And they're like, we did it! Hooray!
You did it, Johnny. Your Nova Flame made him big and then vanished.
Yeah, it's like he absorbed all the heat and then burst. No, Sue is just like
a bubble.
Sue, of course, is the one who says, I don't understand. Explain yourselves. And then Watcher shows up and he goes, hey, I'm here too. I was watching. And it was your husband. He did it. He saved everybody.
What?
He asked Galactus to send the Silver Surfer to the one race that could destroy the Cosmic Tribunal. And so the Surfer went out into the endless regions of space, and he found a race of beings called the Decimators, which he also invented for the story. And the Decimators are a race of creatures that have no minds. The Cosmic Tribunal is made up of, you know, whatever the fuck they look like. They look like light worms. But they're able to, they have one shared mind. They have a hive mind that they like they have individuality, but also this like shared consciousness.
Okay.
And the Decimators have no minds, and so as such, the Cosmic Tribunal cannot affect them.
Because they're like the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the mindless.
Yes, not to be confused with the
mindless,
ones,
yeah.
which are Doctor Strange villains for the most part. I guess Stan didn't want to do the mindless ones, but John Romita Jr. just drew the mindless ones. He drew a variation on his version of the mindless ones,
Yeah.
but they're definitely the mindless ones. But they're the Decimators right now, and so Watcher and Galactus are standing next to each other, and they're like, "Yep." So Silver found the Decimators and sicked them on the Cosmic Tribunal. Won't see them no more. They are getting fucked right now. Just
Oh my
fucked up.
God.
And so don't worry, Earth will be saved, but the Cosmic Tribunal will be annihilated by these mindless drones. And Galactus
Yeah, but what
is
about
like,
the Adjudicator? Can't the Adjudicator step in and be like, "Whoa, I'll destroy the Decimators"?
I assume that he left because the Tribunal is being destroyed, but like we don't see him anymore.
Right. Well,
maybe
maybe
they conjure him.
Yeah, I was
with
gonna
their
say maybe
great
he was a
minds.
manifestation of their power.
Yeah,
so
they
once
call
they
him
were
back.
Yeah, right. Well, or they can't concentrate enough to make him because they're all getting like messed up by the Decimators.
Maybe they call him back, but he can't get back before they're wiped out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They're light years away.
He's like running back, and then like
yeah, it's
the
too-
last
it's
one's
too
killed, and
far.
he disappears.
Exactly. But yeah.
Wow.
So Galactus, I love him. Just mankind will survive. The Tribunal's doomed. Nice job. Like that's awesome.
That sucks.
That's
Like,
awesome.
that's not bad story writing, is what I'm saying.
No, it's just-
I'm like,
ooh.
holy crap, man.
well, it's on the same level as like I'll blow up everything that's ever been if you don't eat Earth.
Yep. Oh my God.
What?
Do not mess with Earth.
Holy
Reed
shit.
Richards will fuck you up. He will destroy your goddamn civilization.
Break in your house and he'll shoot you with your own gun. That motherfucker. Reed Richards don't play.
It's us or them.
It's us or them. Listen.
Who are they to decide we die anyway? Fuck them.
I don't know. The Cosmic Tribunal. They're like seems some kind of
Who
authority.
appointed them?
Right, themselves, I guess.
Yeah, it sounds like a dictator to me.
Yeah. Oh, get Captain America in here. Ben shows back up because he's a flat lever, and he's like, "Hey, I saw the Adjudicator left. Does that mean we win?" And they're like, "Sadly, yes. It's pretty messed up." Reed's like,
It's not really a thing. I know it feels like you should celebrate, but when you hear the backstory,
it's really fucked up because like Reed is like,
We can't.
I mean, I definitely did that, but like maybe we shouldn't. Like maybe that's kind of messed up. Like that's a little more messed up than it should be.
right?
So.
but I can't take it back.
yeah,
Right.
well,
It's
like,
already done.
Well, it's in the
happening
process
right
of
now,
happening right
yeah.
now. So Galactus is like, I know what you're thinking. Let's go. So they all jump into Galactus' ship and they fly out to the Cosmic Tribunal's location, who are just being wrecked by the Decimators. The slaughter has already begun, and then the Fantastic Four and Galactus spring into action, and they all team up and they save the Cosmic Tribunal from the Decimators.
From the Decimators.
that they sent to them in the first place.
So, their argument for the Cosmic Tribunal
It's
is,
completely justified.
hey, we sent these people after you. You know what would have been nice is not dropping the bomb on us in the first place.
Yeah, but you really didn't
you
give me
were-
much of a choice.
Yeah.
Plus, I wanted to scare a couple of people over there.
All I'm saying is,
That would
now
be-
the Kree are really going to think twice about attacking Earth.
Damn right.
That would actually be awesome if that was in here, where Reed was like, well, mostly I wanted to stop the
Adjudicator
Tribunal,
from destroying
but
everything.
it doesn't hurt that like now everyone knows not to fuck with us.
No, he did. He's just like, now Namor knows not to fuck my wife.
Right, exactly. No, yes. Now everyone knows it. Every world knows it.
Every
Don't
world.
try and fuck my wife.
Don't fuck my wife. Don't fuck my planet. Because you know who else was there to see that? Galactus. That's
right.
Don't welch on our deal, Big G. Mm-hmm. So anyway, they saved the day, and the Tribunal's like, "You did it. You saved us, despite us judging
Causing
you."
it in the first
They
place.
don't remember, or are well, because they don't know.
Oh,
Yes, the Silver Surfer. He's the
They're just
asshole.
like, they're like, we judged you, and then you showed up and you saved their asses. That's pretty awesome. You know what? We're
Hey,
gonna
how-
give you a mulligan on this one.
I'm a little curious how you knew to come save us.
Seems kind of convenient.
Hey man, shut up! Don't spoil our good time. It's a party.
That's the part. I was get wrecked. You saved us. One from a terrible alien force, another from making a terrible mistake. Because you guys have great compassion.
Yeah, it turns
And I'm
out-
like, no, you don't.
They don't?
You monsters. You tricked them, and that's awesome.
This is the true fate
That
of
is-
humanity, is
that
tricking
is
other
messed
people into
up.
thinking we're worth it.
Yeah, he's like, no. They so sold on mankind are they. The human race, perhaps above all others, has earned the right to exist and fulfill its manifest destiny, which promises to be glorious.
No,
Wow.
we're a bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, only the Fantastic Four showed up after trying to get you killed.
Well, yes.
Wow. These people are not very smart.
No.
They're like, we have determined humanity must die for some reason. Oh, 4 of them showed up to help us. I guess the whole race is good.
Yeah, well, we sent one element of us to destroy all of them. They sent
Yeah.
a small contingent to...
Maybe
Rescue
they
us.
don't understand because they're a hive mind.
Right, they're like, that's everybody, right?
Oh yeah, like if one of you shows up, it's all of you.
Yeah, you are the representatives.
So
Each of you is a representative of the
because
entire...
they're all New Yorkers. Because if you mess with one of them, you mess with all of them. At the UN, the Fantastic Four is honored for literally saving all of humanity.
Yeah.
And they still don't get a medal.
They don't.
They get a plaque or something.
They stand for a
photo was
picture that
taken.
someone takes.
That's someone actually takes it.
And we see, everyone's there. Wolverine, Spider-Man.
Fucking Doom's there.
Doom's there. I love it because everyone's like, hooray!
Freaking Silver Surfer in the background. He should be up with them.
He should be. Yeah. Yeah, he should.
Actually, it was most
He knows where the bodies are buried.
Hey, look, it's Franklin.
That's Franklin.
That's my pop.
Yep.
What about your mom? Fuck you.
Doom, of course, is clapping, but going, I'll find a way to crush them someday.
Thanks.
I didn't really get to do anything in this book.
Yep.
So,
But it's a
they-
Fantastic
ass
Four
handed
book. I
to me.
gotta be here.
He should be like in a white or black nebulous space, being like, now I have to figure out how to get back to
yeah,
Earth.
what the hell do I do
with
now?
all my phaser bots.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd be going to the tribunal to be like trying to like work them over, get them to somehow help him.
You know who sent those mindless ones to you in the first place, right?
No! What? Oh my god! But we already said that they're okay and cool.
Yeah, there's no appeals.
We even said that.
It's double jeopardy. So, anyway, they're like, well, that was a high note. Let's quit.
What?
Yep, we saved all of humanity. That's the best we'll ever do.
You already did that once.
Yeah, but now we're doing it for real. Let's quit while we're ahead.
Yeah.
So-
after the second
you've
time
always
we saved
been
humanity,
ahead.
that's
Yeah.
not.
So Ben and Alicia, they go to like a cozy cabin far away from Yancey Street, and
I'm sorry.
Reed, Sue, Franklin, and Johnny are like, let's start over. And they get into the Fantastic Car and they separate and they just leave. And
And they go to the moon to
no
hang out
reason.
with the Watu.
they're heading like, well, it's like a fucking riding off into the sunset kind of thing, but it's the Fantastic Four.
So they gotta go to space.
They go into space. Well, who knows?
They know
where the hell
space
they're
real
going. I
well.
mean, it's Earth, so maybe they're just going high up in altitude.
Their adventure began in space and it ends in space.
There you go. How
So-
poetic is that?
So at the end of the Fantastic Four,
Yeah, the last Fantastic Four
Reed does
story.
not turn Ben back into a human.
That's just what I was thinking. I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm never gonna be.
You've gotten used to it. Shut up. Oh my God! With this, the last thing we're ever going to say to each other is you bitching and moaning about being a rock man.
Wait,
I
you're
could've-
living forever?
I could have turned you back into a human day one. You know why I didn't? Sometimes I need someone to hit something.
Well, then there's no reason not to turn me back now.
That's right.
I always hated you, Ben. Goodbye.
And they also say they have this horrible like justification for leaving, where they're like, well, we saved the world this time, but like it'll be only a couple of weeks before they forget, and then they start blaming us for shit again. So we might as well leave on a high note. Like, we saved the world, everyone's happy with us, and now we're gone. So if the world is ever threatened by seemingly another cosmic threat that happens every other week, we won't be there to help them.
Yeah, it won't be us this time.
No. Let the Avengers do it once in a while. Of course, as we've established, they wouldn't be able to. They're terrible at it.
Yeah.
So the last Fantastic Four story is, the Fantastic Four is a perfect representation of humanity, where they receive a sentence that is perfectly justified, and then immediately resent that decision.
Yeah. Refuse to accept the
refuse to
premise
accept it,
of their judgment.
Administer their own brand of completely out of bounds justice, and then rescue their would-be tormentors from their own judgment.
And then lie about it.
Then lie.
And then lie about it.
And
That's
then
the best
quit.
part. And then quit. And they take their toys and they go home.
Yeah. So really, the Fantastic Four are baby boomers. It's so silly.
It's at least enjoyable because the adjudicator cannot be beaten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those like, oh my God, I can't even fathom what he's doing.
Like
or how he's
we can't touch him. There's not a scratch on him.
No.
Yep.
All right, let's fuck up the people who sent him.
Yeah. Okay. I can't beat you. Fine. I'm gonna burn your house down. What a proportionate response. What a cogent and rational response for you. That's fair.
I'm somewhat surprised that they don't take it to the next level and have the tribunal like appoint humanity in their place.
Oh my God!
Like you are such we made a
defer to
mistake. We tried to doom your society and we were wrong. You should be the tribunal,
Right.
not
Oh my
us.
God!
That is not a good idea.
No, I totally get why they went after Earth, and why the bird was the first to die. They're glowing worm beings.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Birds
they're like,
eat worms,
right? They're like, no.
They didn't want to destroy
Fuck those
humanity. They
birds.
wanted to destroy Earth because
Yes.
of birds.
Those are those goddamn birds. Yes.
That'd be a fun alternate story.
Yeah, I'm
where
shocked
humanity becomes the tribunal.
Right. Yeah.
And just destroys
Right.
everything.
General Thunderbolt Ross becomes a fucking
Yeah.
cosmic being, and he's
Yep.
like, okay, step 1, total galactic domination. Hey, Reed, you said something about another dimension? Let's conquer that too.
All I'm saying is, best defense is a great offense.
Oh, yeah, good call.
Humanity, what have you done? Where is the compassion that you showed us? The battle of the mindless.
Yeah, of the decimators.
The decimators.
Yeah,
The what?
The Holocaust
Who?
of the decimators.
What are you talking about, man?
Oh, you mean our first line of defense? Yeah. The things we wield like a fucking gun? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Humanity would take over the tribunal, and then, of course, would use the decimators to just subjugate everyone.
Oh my God! It was you. You sent the decimators.
Oh! The last worm finally crosses the finish line. Way to go! Holy shit! No, we gotta
Too
make
bad
sure.
you gave us all your power.
Oh, that's
Dumbass.
Adjudicated.
Yeah. Hey, you know who should stop by your place? you might recognize them. Oh fuck!
Well, I don't understand. You saved us before, only to destroy us now? Why would you do that?
Because it's funny.
Well, we want to make sure you never get back here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's humanity's way. Once you have a little bit of scrap of power, get the next. Just amplify it as much power as humanly possible. Ugh. We are monsters. So really, I want to thank Tom Brevoort and Stan Lee and John Romita Jr. for giving us this microscope onto the true soul of humanity and really highlight some of the blemishes. Oh my God.
And Reed Richards.
Well, I mean, it's pretty in keeping. Gotta tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's consistent.
Yeah.
I'll destroy everything if you try and eat Earth.
Yeah. Well, and at this point, he's like, no. You know what? I was too charitable with the ultimate nullifier. You know, I was going to destroy everyone, myself included.
Right.
This time.
Well, not only that, but like I
you.
didn't do anything. I just threatened.
Yeah, I threatened to do it.
Yeah,
And
this
you know
time
what?
people
I
died.
kind of wanted to press the button.
Yeah, I felt that temptation.
So now I'm gonna press the button just on a smaller scale.
yeah, I'm pushing the button. I've always wanted to push the button.
Holy crap, Reed.
Jesus Christ. Oh no, I go to different dimensions and I hit the ultimate nullifier button. I just nullify stuff.
It's great.
It's called purging. That's what I do.
I mean, he does. Because that's what happens with the friggin' incursions.
Yes. The last Fantastic Four story is ridiculous, but worth reading, especially if you're a Fantastic Four fan. It's one of Stan's last Fantastic Four stories. It's one of
Right.
Stan's last. It's like I want to say it's Stan's last word in the Marvel universe. I'm really glad I got a chance to get some confirmation, because otherwise it would have just been me being like, I have a feeling it's this. Mm-hmm. I wasn't far off though.
Right.
But it's good to know.
Yeah.
You know,
I could say that now.
I can say that now. Yeah.
I wasn't far off. I was way far off in the
I was
beginning.
so far off.
It's a fun little piece of Marvel history.
Yes. And if you get a copy, you can also get a full-page teaser for One More Day, which is on its way at this point.
Oh.
So you can be like, oh, what's that? Oh.
Damn it.
So actually, Spider-Man and Mary Jane probably should have been married by this point. Still married.
Still married.
When this book came out. All right. Well, anyway, I guess we'll see you next week. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm Sal.
Everything.
I'm Ben.
Bye.
Maybe Spider-Man says girl in here because Stanley knows that they're not going to be married. He's like, I can't say Mary Jane. The editor said that they're not going to be married
Tom's like,
anymore.
oh no, that's over.